Yesterday, the world watched in horror as Donald Trump and J.D. Vance aligned themselves with Vladimir Putin and President Zelensky of Ukraine, exposed them for being the traitors that they are. And I would imagine after seeing such a thing that Democratic leadership is furious. They're organized and they're going to barnstorm the country with a response. Let's hear what Hakeem Jeffries had to say.
Is the case that we'll need to see some mature leadership from the Trump administration.
You think there will be some mature leadership from the Trump administration?
Congressional Democrats in both the House and the Senate will urge that this breach be repaired and that we stand by the Ukrainian people.
Maturity out of the Trump administration, and the Democrats are going to urge. Are you kidding me? They just completely realigned with the axis of evil, and you guys are acting like they have some sort of super majority in the House. You're talking about the slimmest majority ever, and that's your response? That's the Democratic response to kissing Putin's ass and berating our ally? Are you kidding me? This is why the Democrats lose, because they're always chasing this elusive independent voter. And then after the election, these reports came out, the Democrats are too woke, blah, blah, blah. So they're trying to find this 10% of people that they want to govern for. 75 million people voted for Kamala Harris. Why don't you start speaking to them? The entire world witnessed a complete realignment, and that we have traitors in the White House, traitors. And that's your response? But let's look at what independent journalist Ken Klippenstein, he had a very simple tweet. The first picture is the MAGA response. Picture, of course, mugshot of convicted felon president. He can come back when he's ready for peace. That is about Zelensky, and that is just gaslighting. That is pro-Putin bullshit. Here's the Democrats' response. Here's what Democrats did in February. And then they have all of these lists that you have to have a magnifying glass how to read it. Hey, Democrats. Hey, DNC. How about put "we oppose fascism" as big as possible? How about Donald Trump is a traitor? We're all seeing it. You're a part of the gaslighting and you're a part of the appeasement. That is complete capitulation. The fix is in. The reason that they are firing generals and that Elon Musk is dismantling the federal government is there won't be midterms. They're trying to reorganize everything so that they can cling on to power forever, because that's what autocrats do. And when all of the autocrats in the world align, it always leads to war. And that's your response? Are you kidding me? I mean, we have got to get serious. By the way, Pumps is in Vegas. That's why I'm going solo. The star of our show will be back with me on Monday. But here is a response from John Bolton, who is a total right-winger, who served in Trump's first administration. He's a war hawk. Let's listen to his response as to what happened in the Oval Office yesterday.
This is really one of the most disgraceful performances that I've seen, and I think it's important to understand that, in particular, Trump and Vance own this personally. This is the kind of attack on a country that's defending itself from an unprovoked aggression, and they just unleashed on Zelensky in public. And whether they planned it or not, I don't know. I'm not that concerned with questions of etiquette. I am concerned that the president, vice president of the United States have sided with the aggressor, with, as Mike Waltz was just saying there, somebody who's trying to recreate the Russian Empire, something he's been very clear about since 2005 at least. And now you have, sadly, both Mike Waltz and Marco Rubio in the administration and apparently staying. I just say, remember, this is not the second month of Trump's tenure. This is the 50th month of his two-year term. And this is the point when somebody does 180 degrees from understanding American allies to backing America's adversaries, that you resign.
Mark, you're saying Marco Rubio should resign?
and Mike Waltz. This is really the time to do it. If they don't
Okay,
get
there
out
you
now.
have it. He's calling for a resignation from Marco Rubio. So at least, I mean, this is somebody who I disagree with just about everything, except for the fact that we both agree that America needs to be the leader of the free world. And you don't have the Democrats on there calling for Marco Rubio's resignation. Everybody in the Senate that voted for him should be barnstorming the airwaves right now saying, we regret our vote. He's clearly compromised. He is a part of a realignment with the axis of evil, and we're not going to tolerate it. We need to haul his ass in front of this committee. And nothing. You saw the punch list that they came up with. And I want to just remind you all of this. It's a myth that Russia is some superpower. Russia is dead ass broke. Russia's military is completely depleted. The only thing preventing Vladimir Putin from regaining any sort of power is the United States. So what he has done is he's waged psychological warfare on the United States. He has a compromised person that he controls, that he walks on a leash, Donald Trump, JD Vance. They have a full-time nanny in Elon Musk, and the fix is in. The fix is in, and the Democrats have got to move. They've got to move rapidly. Hakeem Jeffries acts like there are 10 Democrats in the House, only 10. They have a very, very large minority. The Senate has a very, very large minority. This is a 911. House is on fire. And if Hakeem Jeffries cannot go on the airwaves and call this what it is, replace him. This is a moment in history. We are living in a historical moment right now where the United States of America just moved away from the safest alliance the world has ever seen, which is NATO. And we are moving to align with all of the autocrats, with all of the dictators. And every single time you study that, it always leads to war. Okay, next up we have Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham did a bipartisan chit-chat with Zelensky, Amy Klobuchar, Senator Chris Coons. This is before the Oval Office ambush. And he is, pro-Ukraine, yak, blah, blah. Well, I guess Putin or somebody saw this and probably sent him a screenshot of Lindsey Graham doing gay stuff with some DC prostitute. And here's what Lindsey Graham did after the Oval Office nightmare.
Never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of JD Vance standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Will somebody please release all of the gay evidence about Lindsey Graham? We all know it's there. We all know he's compromised. I am so sick of this. I know Americans are sick of this. He knows better. He says he doesn't want to do business with Zelensky. So you want to do business with Russia? You want to do business with a liar, a war criminal, a butcher, a murderer, a dictator? Are you serious, Lindsey? You've been on committees. You used to be best friends with John McCain. You know better. But clearly between the bipartisan meeting in some room in the White House and then Lindsey's embarrassing display of sycophancy on Fox News, of course, somebody said, buddy, get in line. We own you. We're going to release the gay stuff. So let's just release it. I know that somebody has it somewhere here. So at least we can have one little minor victory. But while all of this is going on, we have put up this tweet. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth last week ordered U.S. Cyber Command to stand down from all planning against Russia, including offensive digital actions. You guys, Russia has been attacking us digitally for over a decade, maybe longer. And the Mueller report proved this. Marco Rubio is one in 2017 that was whistleblowing that Russia tried to hack into the Florida voting machines. And we've just waved the white flag. Donald Trump and JD Vance saying, say thank you, wear a suit. You think that's tough? Yeah, maybe they spoke loudly. Maybe they pointed their fingers. That's not power. What they're doing is handing Putin every single thing that he wants. They're waving the white flag, and Putin has won a war against a country that has a larger military, the largest economy this world has ever seen. And then we have to ask ourselves, why? Russia has an economy 1/20th the size of the European Union. Why are we aligning with such a weak power? Their military is so depleted. They have donkeys and World War II stuff on the front lines, and they're losing hundreds of thousands of men in this war. Why are we aligning with a country that is so weakly positioned? Why is Hegseth waving the white flag? Why? Well, I think we all know why. Because they've been telling us since 2016. Hillary Clinton told us in 2016. The Mueller report told us he is compromised by Vladimir Putin. The president of the United States is compromised. He is a traitor. This is outrageous. And the Democratic response is pathetic. This is a historical moment. And all of you triple Trumpers, your vote's going to be there forever. But those who are running the country right now, those who are in the minority, and it is a very, very large minority in the House and Senate, stand up, speak up. Expecting Donald Trump to be mature is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life, and I feel dumber for having heard it. Using the word urge is like bringing a toothpick to bringing a Q-tip to a sword fight. So the Democrats need to straighten up. They need to strengthen up. They need to stand up. They need to organize. They need to start browbeating their sane Republican counterparts. They need to record these Republicans because they say off the record all the time, that when they're not on camera, they're always bashing Trump. They're always bashing Putin. Come on. Get it. Get the goods. Let's go. This is serious because the more time that goes on, the more the fix is going to be in. There will not be a midterm. There will not be one. Autocrats and dictators never, ever cede power. And they might have a for show election like Putin does, but they'll have the books cooked. The fix is in unless the Democrats move rapidly. Start playing dirty. Get the Democrats who you know have just a modicum of moral clarity to get on board and get these people impeached immediately. Okay, guys, I know it's not as uplifting when it's just me, but thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all later.